Chapter 12 of the Dao De Jing. Dao, pronounced Dao as in now, is about what excess does to a person, not what it takes from you visibly, but what it quietly destroys in the taking. The original text, in classical Chinese. Listen for the rhythm. It was composed to be heard. Wu si ling rain mu máng, wu yin ling rain lóng, wu wai ling rain ku shuǎng, chai chěng tián lai, ling rain zin fa kong, nan de zhai huo ling rain zing fang, chi shèng rain wai fu bu wai mu, guk bike sai. And in English, the 5 colors blind the eye, the 5 tones deafen the ear, the 5 flavors dull the mouth, racing and hunting drive the mind to madness, rare goods lead conduct astray. And so the sage acts for the belly, not for the eye. He rejects that and takes this. The 5 colors blind the eye. In classical Chinese thought, 5 is a number of completeness, the full range of something. What Laozi, pronounced Laozi, is pointing at is not 5 specific colors, but the entire spectrum of visual stimulation. All of it. When you expose your eyes to the full flood of spectacle and display, they become less capable, not more. You start chasing what's bright without seeing what's there. The same logic runs through each line. 5 tones deafen the ear. When the ear is filled with constant sound, with music that demands attention and never stops, it loses its sensitivity. You can no longer hear the quiet thing. 5 flavors dull the mouth. The palate that has been trained to seek intensity and novelty can no longer register what food actually tastes like. The word translated here as dull, shuǎng, carries the sense of damage, deviation, something injured, not just boredom, impairment. Then Laozi moves from senses to action, racing and hunting, the frantic pursuit of speed, of prey, of experience stacked on experience, drives the mind wild. The word is kong, madness, frenzy, not metaphorically. He means the mind becomes ungovernable. It chases and cannot stop chasing. And rare goods, objects that are hard to obtain, scarce, expensive, coveted, cause conduct to go wrong. The word fáng means to obstruct, to hinder. A person who orients their life around acquiring what is rare will find their actions increasingly contorted around that pursuit. They compromise things they wouldn't have compromised before. They do things that sit badly with them. What is Laozi actually saying here? He is not saying beauty is bad, or music, or good food. He is describing a threshold, the point at which stimulus becomes overwhelming and something breaks. The eye, overwhelmed by spectacle, stops functioning as an organ of perception and becomes an organ of craving. The ear, overwhelmed by sound, stops hearing and starts being driven. The mouth, overwhelmed by flavor, stops tasting and starts needing. Overstimulation doesn't expand you, it narrows you. Think about what happens after you've spent an afternoon scrolling through an enormous amount of imagery, photography, video, advertisement, content. You sit down in a quiet room and you feel a low-grade restlessness. The ordinary things in front of you seem flat. This is what the text is pointing at, not corruption, recalibration in the wrong direction. The last 2 lines are the pivot. The sage acts for the belly, not for the eye. The belly here is a deliberate contrast. The belly does not perform. It does not seek display. It seeks what genuinely nourishes, not the most intense thing, not the rarest thing, not the thing that would impress someone watching, just what actually sustains life. A full stomach doesn't demand more of the same. It rests. The eye, by contrast, in Laozi's use here, stands for outward-looking desire. The eye appraises, compares, wants to be seen wanting the right things. It is the faculty of status and spectacle. He rejects that, and takes this. The this is the belly, the that is the eye. This is inner sufficiency, that is outward chase. Notice the economy of the prescription. He does not say the sage never sees beautiful things, or never hears music. He says the sage does not organize a life around the eye's wanting. The belly is already satisfied with enough. The eye is never satisfied with anything. What might a person actually do with this? The text is not a rule. It doesn't say, reduce your inputs, limit your stimulation, live simply. It describes a phenomenon, and lets you look at your own life against it. Where do you find that the more you consume of something, the less you actually receive from it? Where has accumulation made you less sensitive, not more? There is also something worth sitting with about the difference between what genuinely nourishes you and what you are pursuing out of comparison or display. Those are not always the same. A person can spend years chasing what looks good from the outside, the rare goods, the impressive thing, and arrive somewhere they don't recognize, having obstructed something in themselves along the way. Laozi does not say this is inevitable. He says the sage knows the difference. The sage takes what actually fills, and lets go of what only drives. He rejects that, and takes this. In 4 Chinese characters, entire orientation, what sustains over what dazzles. The next chapter takes this inward turn further.